quick little side tangent. I'm power scaling the shit that I know, okay? So let me draw you guys, okay? This is you. This is like you. You're like the average Joe. You have like a power level of like 5. You know, like a little Joe Smo. You kind of hear from YouTube sometimes. You're the casual. Then you have like the dedicated. They're like a 7. They keep up with like videos from me or Supa. Sometimes they take a look in Deepwoken Info. They're a lot more dedicated. Then you have the Deepwoken Info folks. They're not that much higher, but they're at a 9. They're usually constantly looking for new shit. Now you have your average tester. They're at a 100. This is your average Deepwoken tester. They know a lot of shit. Now, if I had to put myself across this, I'd say I'm like at a 115. Not that much higher than the average tester, to be honest. Testers know a lot. We share a lot of info. But sometimes I just be talking to Archmage and Fino in DMs and shit, and I'll just hear like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? I'll just hear some shit about like, you know, what they might want to plan to do. Like, for example, the World Sea Expedition. That was just something I talked to Archmage about because I was interested in it. It's like Goku and Vegeta. Like, Vegeta is only, like, Vegeta more often than not is seen as weaker than Goku, but they're still the 2 strongest. Then who do you have next? So I'll say me is like here. Then obviously you have like the dev, which is like level 1000. You know, like they know everything. Sometimes me and the testers, you can only speculate so much. You know what I mean? You can only speculate and kind of know. The devs obviously are at level 1000. Okay, so yeah. To repeat, you probably the average viewer or average player, casual guy. You know, maybe you like GPO instead of Deepwoken, but you still want to play Deepwoken. You're a 5. People who play Deepwoken every day, 7. The Deepwoken Info, they're a 9. Deepwoken Tester, 100. There's a lot of shit. Me? I sometimes have a little bit extra info, not that much more though, but 115. And so yeah, this is the definitive Deepwoken knowledge power scaling. There are some people who do hear more about things. I'll say this, I forgot to mention, okay? There's like a special category, like I'll say CCs / randoms. So sometimes this will be like certain friends of tester groups, right? Or people who are ex-testers. So like, for example, okay, I'll give this one example because he's literally my best friend. You've seen him in stream before, actually. He's quite literally lived with me. A good example are Bax and SJ Dasher. These guys lived with me. So I'm not gonna lie, they're like level 40. I'm not gonna lie. But what am I supposed to do? Cover my screen while I'm playing Conquest? They see. I'm in the same room as them. But they're good friends of mine, and they're testers / they're in seat. Like, one of them's in Curse Gear, one of them's been in Wave -1 Deepwoken. They know how to keep their fucking mouth quiet. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are niggas I trust with my life, type shit. These are niggas I trust with the keys to my house. Literally, I left the keys to them when I left to go see my girlfriend. You see what I mean? So like, I don't let any nigga stay in my house, type shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Are you technically calling them out? Nah, bro, literally not. Funny story, I think I was testing for something once, right? And I was in VC with all the testers, and I was like, hey yo, I think I was like saying like, oh, Vax is gonna test some of this shit. Can y'all help him? And he was testing like one of the new managers or something like that. And this is not the first time. The first time was when he lived with me like a year back. Vax lived with me like a year back, and this was when Silent Heart released. And I think he didn't see Silent Heart, but it was like there was like weekly talents. And I was like, yo, Vax, are these hey, can you come here real quick? He would like peek. I'd be like, are these talents good, bro? And he's like, I wouldn't take any of them. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean, right? You look at it, be like, oh yeah, they're all trash. And then I have to restart, or they would be the ones that are being added to the game. And you look at it and be like, yeah, they're not that good. And then, well, there you go. So special category. This is like a 40. CC as well, content creators. Like a good example, the reason they're 40 is because sometimes they'll have access to things you don't. So a good example is like when content creators could play Battle Royale before you guys could. That's big. Content creators might be able to play Conquest before you guys too. That might be a thing if they do extra testing. But yeah, shout out my homies Vax and SJ Dasher. You know what I'm saying? They're fucking W's. You know what I'm saying? If that's what y'all niggas say. Og is not a content creator. No, I'm a Deepwoken tester. This is in terms of knowledge. Okay, so yeah, like I said, final list. You, the average casual, dedicated Deepwoken player, Deepwoken Info, CC / randoms who are associated with Deepwoken testers or Deepwoken devs, right? Then you have the Deepwoken Tester. Then I'd say me, I'm like slightly above, maybe like a 110 to be honest. 115 might be like a little too much. Then 1000 is a dev. There you guys go. There you guys go. Who knows more than dev? Then you have rag. Rag is like rag slash arc. Actually, I should say that rag slash arc. It's like a 1500. Actually, no, they're usually all on board. It's like 1001. Then you have fake Raguzer. They put fake here. Fake Raguzer. He was just a weirdo, but he it's like he knew a lot. I'm gonna put him at like a solid, like a 17. He was pretty strong compared to the average Joe. He wasn't like he didn't know what was coming up, but he knew a fair amount of info. He was pretty strong. I put him at a 17 power level. Fake Rag was pretty strong. Any other questions? Hey, give me people. I'll put them on the list. Fake Rag was a 17. It was pretty powerful compared to the average person. Oh, Deepwoken mod team. True. Some mods are testers, and sometimes they overlap. I'll say Deepwoken mod is like a solid, probably like it can range 15 to like 50, 15 to 50, because like it can technically go from, okay, let me be honest, 15 to 100, which sounds crazy, right? Like what? Wait, but they're not testers, right? Okay, so quick story. What's crazy is that the first people to see layer 2, besides a few exceptions, was me, Natoons, and Punchy. And by the way, Punchy and Natoons, they weren't testers. They were just mods. So I think either Natoons or Punchy, they figured out in the dev place where layer 2 was. They figured out where it was, right? And bro, they deadass was like, yo, you wanna go check out layer 2? I was like, check out layer 2, nigga? Let's go check out layer 2. And so we arrived to layer 2. It was the part of layer 2, the Maw of Etheron. You know where all the bounders spawn, but not those two paths specifically, but the area under where you can fall in and there's like a bit of snow. That was where we landed because you could sail there. So we sailed to layer 2. Point is, right, is that Deepwoken mods sometimes for random conditions can get a huge power level spike. Sometimes they'll just talk to devs and they'll just be comfortable showing info because, you know, they already have a level of trust. They're already a Deepwoken mod. So yeah, Deepwoken mod, power level of either 50 to 100. They can be very strong. So shout out the mods. Horatiem is basically a 1000. He's like probably like a solid 800. The reason why he's not 1000 is because sometimes he just doesn't know. Like he can be a 1000, but sometimes he's busy. Does that make sense? He's busy with like mod work. Fake Rag is stronger than the weakest mod. Yeah, because Fake Rag, the thing about Fake Rag is that he knew some wave -1 things and some stuff about curse gear. So he had a way to get insider knowledge. So he was definitely what is it called? He was pretty powerful. Well, powerful relative to the average. Natoons is basically like he's like 4 or dev. Now he knows a lot. Bro, he works on the game. Like he modeled the bow. So he's in the know. You know, he's a dev. Shout out Natoons, man. That nigga does hard work and they're finally starting to put him on. Thank fuck. Because that motherfucker can put some goated ass results in quick ass times. That's a 2-in-1 package. If I was Rag, I'd be like, yo, I'm paying you double, get to work. I'd be constantly fucking working that nigga if he was able to. Nakti Gonis is also probably like 1000 or 800. Pseudomesh was a tester, so he was at 100 probably. Where do you scale data miners? Data miners can be pretty strong, I'm not gonna lie. Data miners can be also like a solid, probably 40. Because the data miners, sometimes they don't know everything. Like they don't know the context of the thing that it's gonna be in, or they don't know how to get said thing. But data miners are pretty strong, I'd say. They're stronger than an average Deepwoken mod. I'll put them at like a 40. Translators, oh, the people who like help Rag. Now the translators end up becoming Deepwoken testers. Didn't data miners leak Etheron? Yeah, they did, right? They did leak Etheron, but they didn't leak like everything about layer 2. Exploiters don't know that much, I'm not gonna lie. Your average exploiter is basically like it's like a 7, not gonna lie. They don't, if you're talking about the motherfucker who makes the exploits, they're pretty much a data miner. So if they're like up there, like they might as well be a data miner. But your average exploiter is basically just like a dedicated, they're like a 7. A constant Agamatsu watcher, maybe like an 8. They're not Deepwoken info, but they're better than an Agamatsu like enjoyer. Like you guys are like an 8 maybe. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure to go click on these other videos, man. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.